Welcome back, everyone, to ASPA Podcast. My name is Karen Neckelman, and we are today with Dr. Eric Melnyczenko. He is the Assistant Superintendent of Personnel and Culture from the Crete-Money CUSD 201U, Will County, Illinois. Hello, Eric. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
So, Eric, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what you currently do?
Absolutely. I've been in my current role for 1.5 years. Previously, I was the Director of Human Resources for another school district in Illinois. Um, I'm, this is my 19th year in education. I've been a middle school math teacher, elementary assistant principal, middle school assistant principal, and intermediate principal. I'm also the president of the South Suburban Human Resources Administrators Group that covers human resources folks in Southern Cook County and Will County. And I am also going to be joining the Illinois Association of School Personnel Administrators Board coming up here at the end of the month.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So today we're going to discuss about tips and tools for leveraging what your district has to offer to attract and retain staff. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so to start, what do you think are the biggest challenges schools face today in recruiting and retaining quality educators?
From the recruiting standpoint is certainly from the nationwide teacher shortage that we're all facing. There's just the lack of quality educators that are going into the profession. I think that's the one of the biggest pieces. And then from there, it's what does your school district or what does a school district do to set themselves apart? In Illinois, we have over 860 school districts in our state. So what can I or what can our school district offer to somebody that is looking for a new home that sets our neighbors that sets us apart from our neighbors, besides this standard salary and benefits. That's what we've been really focusing on, and as well as that goes into our retention too. We're trying to put together a lot of different benefits that no other district in our area is offering, or none in the state are even offering. We've been really creative in how we're using grant funds and some personnel to make those opportunities become reality, to show staff that and new people that this is the place to be, because you can go anywhere else. Yes, you might get a little bit of salary increase or maybe a little bit of better benefit, but holistically, from a total rewards perspective, you can't get what we're offering.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned the teacher shortage. How has this impacted your district, and what have you been doing to try to fight it?
Yeah, so it's impacted us in the critical positions, math teachers, science teachers, Spanish teachers, bilingual teachers. Those have been pain points for us in the last couple hiring seasons. I'm proud to say that we started this year with 0 certified positions that were unfilled. We've lost a couple of people along the way due to different circumstances, but when we push that message out that we have 0 unfilled certified staff positions for this year, the feedback that I got is it's been a long time since that's happened. So,
That's great.
um, yeah, it's been unfortunate that in the past we've had to have either unqualified or substitute teachers in there that do the best that they can, but obviously they don't have the training and the background that a certified teacher has. So it's impacted our students. Sometimes our test scores may reflect that, but we've put in some partnerships with Golden Apple, so that way we can create pipelines for some of our substitutes and our teacher assistants. Created that pipeline for them to go back to school to become a licensed teacher, and we've had several that have come through that, and several that have taken us up on that. We've also put through a couple of cohorts for bilingual teachers and ELL teachers, and this year we instituted one for special education teachers, so we can help our own staff kind of build some new capacities and competencies in case they wanted a change. So kind of helping ourselves with some of those cohorts and partnerships.
Mhm. So, and how do you think a school district can improve their employer brand to attract top talent?
You know, it's constantly pushing the message of what your district is doing for kids and getting the real life testimonials from the staff that are working. Trying to get some of those marketing messages from them. Why are you here? Why do you enjoy working here? We've in the past year and a half, we've put together a really nice recruitment video that showcases our teachers working with our students with those testimonials of why they have chosen to make our district their home. This past year, we've worked in creating a wellness committee and wellness champions in our district to develop an employee value proposition. So another way of messaging all of the things that we have to offer for our people, which sets us apart. You know, an EVP is not something that I've seen in our area. I've been in, this is my fifth different district in South Cook and Will County, and I can tell you in the places that I've been in the surrounding places don't have that of employee value proposition. So it's an inspirational message that um, puts puts forth the efforts that the district is making to make your district a place of value. It makes it a place that worth exploring and a place that hopefully people will call their home.
Hmm. And do you think the that recognition programs are like a big tool to retain teachers and boost their morale and want and make them want to stay?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You know, we survey our staff, you know, 3 times a year, and recognition is a big piece. They do want that. Whether it's the old school post-it note, hey, you're doing a great job. I really enjoyed being in your classroom. To we've instituted an employee recognition platform through one of our partners, where it's I call it the Facebook of staff recognition. So people can shout each other out. They can recognize their colleagues. Supervisors can recognize their people, and there's a little bit of reward that goes along with it. So it's not just, hey, I appreciate you. You're doing a great job, but I appreciate you. You're doing a great job, and here's a little extra incentive for doing that great job. So it keeps, it's nice to see all of the different ways that people are being recognized, from the small things of, hey, I really appreciate that hand that you gave me, to the bigger pieces of, you really went above and beyond for this student, and, in this specific way. Um, People thrive on that. And sometimes we get caught up in just trying to catch people doing bad or trying to catch people doing wrong so we can correct that, versus trying to flip that frame of mind of, why don't we flip that and say, let's catch people being good. That will make our day a lot more productive and a lot more positive. And the same thing for the staff members. And that's not necessarily to say, like, okay, if you see something that's wrong, don't address it. But um, typically we're not wired that way. It's let's find the problems and fix them, versus let's find the good things and praise and recognize.
Mhm. And do you think recognition goes hand in hand with like wellness of the teachers and preventing burnout and I don't know, like in general, having a better work environment?
Oh, for sure. If you are coming into work and you are doing the best that you can, you're doing what you think you're supposed to be doing, and nobody ever tells you, hey, that is great. Yeah, I could see how that could lead to, like, okay, why am I doing this? I'm bending over backwards. I'm burning the candle at both ends. Why do I continue to do this if I am not getting recognized? I feel that we're at a point where the altruistic reasons why people have gone into education. They still exist, but I feel that we can no longer truly rely on, oh, that's the reason why you became a teacher because you want to make a difference. So I'm going to not give you anything, or I'm not going to recognize you, or you're just going to come in and here's your paycheck and then you're going to be fine with that. It's we've got to do a lot more to recognize and support and to truly show that our teachers are not just a replaceable being in the classroom, that if they leave, we're going to try to bring the next person in. And if we can, great. And if we don't, well, then there goes a substitute. We really need to start thinking about how we build that culture of recognition and bringing in those pieces that education, it might not have been in education. All of the outside private companies, they offer their employees wonderful things. And again, I understand that the funding is a completely different, from public and private, but that's not to say that on some scale, we can't bring pieces of that into our schools and our districts, because that's what's going to get people to stay is are those pieces. Because again, if you can have your pick of any school district in any state that a teacher lives in, if you're willing to move and things like that, great. But if District A and District B are the same salary on paper, same benefits, then and A can say, well, we recognize our people through this program. We have all of these different offerings to help, make sure that you're not feeling burnt out. Well, then A is going to be the obvious winner over B. So those differentiators, we've got to start thinking about some of those differentiators that are going to really highlight why we're different from the next door neighbor.
Yeah, absolutely. So, last question. What's your vision for the role of HR in transforming education over the next decade?
It is truly engaging with the people in the trenches, people in the classrooms. Stay interviews. Why do you stay? Tenured teachers, why have you stayed in this district for 15 years? Why have you not gone anywhere? What is it that we can capitalize on from what our staff is telling us? Getting that information, then building the capacity within our building leaders to say, this is why our staff is staying. So how can we continue to build this? How, as maybe as a new administrator comes in, this is what our staff wants. This is what's going to get them to stay. So equipping them from the outset of so that they've got that information right at their fingertips, and then trying to figure out ways to bring in some value added partners for wellness, especially. It is a tough job. I mean, all levels of education, it is tough, and there is no denying that. The arguments that are from the non-educators, oh, you get summers off and you get all of these breaks. It's Yeah, yes, we do, but that's not in and of itself enough to keep going and keep plugging away. Our students of 2025, they're a lot different than a lot of those people that say, "Oh, you got summers off." Yeah, education has changed dramatically, and our teachers, we emphasize everywhere about building relationships with our kiddos, and teachers take a lot of that internally. So they take a lot of the kids' baggage in because they come to us with it. So we've got to figure out a way to show teachers that we care and we support them through the work that they're doing by offering the moon and the stars, essentially, within financial constraints, of course. But the days of here's your insurance and here's your salary, those days are long past of what we can offer staff. We've really got to figure out a way to put in those recognition programs, whether it's a nomination by another staff member, a community member, a parent, a student, or daily recognition. Supervisors, principals, they really need to be looking for those things that teachers are doing for their kids versus finding what they're not doing for kids. And then also just trying to keep the mental health of everybody up, and all of the other different ways that we can support wellness. We in our district, we have a lot for physical health, mental health, financial health, and intellectual health, because that is what we believe it puts the full package of a person together. Um, so they're not just another cog in the machine. We do truly do care about our people as an individual. We have a work life, we have a home life. We need to figure out a way to integrate those two roles together. And from some of our different offerings, we believe that we've kind of done a good job in making that a reality.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
But
absolutely.
yeah, so that's kind of where I see HR and education going is we know teachers are working at home. They're grading papers, they're lesson planning, but we also know that the demands of our time have changed dramatically. I feel that wholeheartedly with the technological age is the demands of our time have changed. So if I'm at home, I can do things at work. If I'm at work during an appropriate time, I can make that phone call to make an appointment, or I can, do something really quick on a break time to address a home need. And trying to keep those two things separate, it's just no longer a reality. We really need to figure out a way to get people to integrate both work and home life together.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure. Okay, thank you, Eric, for joining us today. Do you
Absolutely.
have
Thank you.
any social media for people who want to reach out to you, or maybe if
Yeah.
they have a question?
Sure, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm not too active, but I'm trying to be more present on LinkedIn. You can find me on Twitter. Not too active there anymore. I used to be a little bit more in the past, but LinkedIn would be the main way to find me.
Okay, perfect. Thank you again, and take care.
Absolutely. Thank you. You too. Have a great day.